Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a journey back in time to shine a spotlight on some truly remarkable individuals. We often hear about the great men who shaped history, but what about the women? The trailblazers, the innovators, the rebels who refused to accept the status quo. Let's dive into the stories of incredible American women who defied expectations and forever changed the course of history. Our first stop is the late 18th century, a time of revolution and new ideas. Enter Abigail Adams. While her husband John Adams was busy helping to found a new nation, Abigail was his most trusted advisor and a fierce intellectual in her own right. In her famous letters to John, she urged him to remember the ladies when drafting the new laws for the country. She warned that if women were not given a voice, they were determined to foment a rebellion. While it would take many more years for women to gain the right to vote, Abigail Adams planted a crucial seed, advocating for women's rights and education at the very birth of the United States. She wasn't just a first lady. She was a founding mother. Let's jump forward to the 19th century, a period defined by the fight against slavery. In this struggle, one name shines with breathtaking courage: Harriet Tubman. Born into slavery, she endured unimaginable cruelty, but her spirit was unbreakable. In 1849, she escaped to freedom, traveling nearly 90 miles to Pennsylvania. But she didn't stop there. She risked her life again and again, returning to the South an estimated 13 times to guide more than 70 enslaved people to freedom through the intricate network known as the Underground Railroad. They called her Moses, a testament to her leadership and unwavering faith. During the Civil War, she served the Union Army as a cook, a nurse, and even a spy, becoming the first woman to lead an armed expedition in the war, which liberated over 700 slaves. Harriet Tubman's legacy is one of pure, unadulterated heroism. As we move into the turn of the 20th century, the fight for women's suffrage was reaching a fever pitch, and at the forefront of this battle was Susan B. Anthony. A tireless and strategic activist, she dedicated her entire life to the cause. Alongside her close partner, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, she co-founded the National Women's Suffrage Association. She traveled the country, delivering powerful speeches, organizing protests, and publishing a newspaper called The Revolution. In 1872, she was arrested for voting in her hometown of Rochester, New York, an act of civil disobedience that brought national attention to the movement. Though she didn't live to see the 19th Amendment passed, which finally gave women the right to vote in 1920, her name became synonymous with the suffrage movement. Her final public words, "Failure is impossible," became a rallying cry for generations of activists to come. While some women were fighting for rights on the streets, others were breaking barriers in the halls of science and technology. Meet Katherine Johnson. You might have heard of her from the movie Hidden Figures, but her real-life story is even more astounding. As a brilliant mathematician at NASA, she was known for her incredible accuracy and mastery of complex calculations. In an era before digital computers, she was a human computer. Her orbital mechanics calculations were critical to the success of the first US manned space flights. In fact, before his famous Friendship 7 mission, astronaut John Glenn specifically asked for Katherine Johnson to personally recheck the electronic computer's flight trajectory calculations. If she said the numbers were good, he was ready to go. Her work was instrumental in sending Americans to space and eventually to the moon. Now let's talk about the world of business and entrepreneurship. Madam C.J. Walker's story is the epitome of the American dream. Born Sarah Breedlove to parents who had been enslaved, she was orphaned at 7 and married at 14. After suffering from hair loss, she developed her own line of hair care products specifically for African American women. But she didn't just sell products. She built an empire. She trained an army of sales agents known as Walker agents, empowering thousands of black women with jobs and financial independence. At a time when opportunities were severely limited, she became one of the first American women to become a self-made millionaire. More than a business magnate, she was a philanthropist who funded scholarships and donated generously to organizations like the NAACP. Moving into the mid-20th century, the fight for equality took on a new dimension with the civil rights movement. And on a chilly December day in 1955, Rosa Parks made a quiet but monumental stand. When she refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger in Montgomery, Alabama, she wasn't just tired from a long day at work. She was a seasoned activist with the NAACP, and her act of defiance was a deliberate challenge to segregation. Her arrest sparked the Montgomery bus boycott, a 381-day protest that crippled the city's public transit system and ultimately led to the Supreme Court ruling that segregation on public buses was unconstitutional. Rosa Parks is often called the mother of the civil rights movement, a title she earned through her quiet strength and profound courage. Finally, we can't talk about trailblazing women without mentioning Sandra Day O'Connor. Growing up on a remote cattle ranch in Arizona, she learned self-reliance and a strong work ethic from a young age. Despite graduating at the top of her class from Stanford Law School, she faced immense discrimination. The only job offer she received from a law firm was as a legal secretary. Undeterred, she forged her own path in public service, eventually rising through the ranks of the Arizona state legal system. Then, in 1981, President Ronald Reagan nominated her to the U.S. Supreme Court, and she was confirmed unanimously. As the first female justice, she shattered one of the highest glass ceilings in the country. For 24 years, she served as a crucial, often decisive swing vote on many of the most important issues of our time. Her appointment paved the way for the other brilliant women who have since served on the nation's highest court. From Abigail Adams' revolutionary call to remember the ladies, to Sandra Day O'Connor taking her seat on the Supreme Court, these women, and countless others, have fundamentally shaped the nation we live in today. They were writers, activists, scientists, entrepreneurs, and leaders who saw a world that needed changing and had the courage to do something about it. Their stories remind us that history is not just a collection of dates and events. It's a tapestry woven with the threads of individual lives and choices. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through history. I hope these stories have inspired you as much as they've inspired me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Who is a historical female trailblazer that inspires you? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.